Hey everybody, Bonehead for the Bonehead podcast, and we've got Blood Bowl news. So the vampire team was revealed last week at Nova, and then it kind of went a bit quiet. I was expecting something yesterday for New Mini Monday, and nothing happened. So I kind of thought, well, Blood Bowl on the back burner, maybe it's going to be a few weeks. And then today, we have had a massive drop for the vampire team in Blood Bowl. We've got star players, and yes, we've got a big guy. Forgive me for being sweaty and not wearing a Bonehead t-shirt. I've been building the studio today. It's all about concrete and the ground. But I kind of was hoping we'd have the studio ready for when vampires were coming, so it's a race against time. Warhammer community, they've got an article, cut your teeth on the new vampire star players. But there is a lovely little bit here called the Vargeists. Anyway, let's have a look at the article as we go. The next team to hit the Astrogranite with a terrifying crunch are the Drakfang Thirsters, an imperious team of vampires bringing bloodthirst to Blood Bowl. The much expanded vampire side still relies on thralls as the lifeblood of the team, literally and figuratively, but now there are positionals including runners, throwers and blitzers, each one a paragon of skill, strength and agility. You go on my first whistle. But what if you need to add a bit more bite? Enter the Sandman, the Vargeist. So here we go. We've got a big vampire, big guy, a big vampire bat. Looks very much do you know what? It's the Vargeist, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it was called in Warhammer back in the day. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called in Age of Sigmar now. The Vargeist, which is basically, I believe in old lore, is a vampire that's gone super feral. So think kind of Strigoi, but this has just gone too much in the way of the vampire beastie stuff. This Batty Brute is a nasty addition to any vampire team. Oh, I love it when you see the bold text because you know you're going to get some rules. With its high strength, so 5, maybe 6, and Frenzy. Nice. It's guaranteed to be going for the jugular. Just be careful not to fall foul of its Bloodlust 3+. Your thralls are really going to have their work cut out for them. Okay, so big guy, a big guy with big strength and Frenzy. So, I mean, Yetis are fun, Rat Ogres are fun, Minotaurs are fun, the Blood Spawn is fun, and now it looks like we've got the Vargeist. Okay, Frenzy. Right, Bloodlust 3+. That's the first time we've found any more information about the Bloodlust. So the fact it's 3+, the fact they've given that, I'm assuming it's going to be like Loner 3+, like you have to roll 3+ to pass your Bloodlust, or you do Bloodlust things, Bloodthirst things. So I'm not really sure. Bloodlust 3+. Bloodlust is back. Bloodthirst. Yeah, I did say Bloodthirst in the video, didn't I? So with that in mind, I guess it's there to represent that this thing is more ragey than potentially a standard vampire. Bloodlust in the olden times being a 2+ makes sense. If that's now a 3+ for the big angry dude, that makes a lot of sense. But wait, there's more. So the vampires are also getting 2 star players available to play for any Sylvanian Spotlight teams. The first of these is a newcomer to Blood Bowl, Captain Karina von Rees. So first of all, if they've gone Pirate Coast with this, that's a massive nod to something that I know a lot of you are a massive fan of, which is the Vampire Coast in Warhammer Fantasy Battle. If you don't know what it is, go Google it. Vampire Coast is brilliant. If you played Warhammer Total War 2, you got the Vampire Coast in there as well. But we've got this star player. That is a very fancy hat. I have got I've got firefly flashes in my head. Nice hat. Cool. So you got a bit of the undead armor. She's got Halloween, Freddy claws there. You've got the vampire armor here. I love the stripes. I mean, it's not molded. The hat looks the hat looks really out of place. Like the model looks awesome, but if you were to just kind of cover the hat, it would look it might look a bit better. Like, I'm just gonna cover that bit. That looks like a cool model, and then the hat just looks like a strange addition. It might just be the color, but anyway, you got a cool running star player. The good captain can dodge, weave and jump up, making her a frightening scoring threat at movement 7. She can also treat an opponent as her own thrall once per game, for satisfying her bloodlust, turning Vampire's main weakness into a massive bonus. That's interesting. So, Captain Karina, special rule. So once per game, when Karina fails a bloodlust roll, she may choose to bite an opposition player with strength 3 or lower, as if they were a Thrall lineman teammate. Karina may not bite star players with this special rule. That's interesting. That's interesting. Bearing in mind, these are available to play for Sylvanian Spotlight teams. And Tasty Morsel, once per game, Karina fails a bloodlust, you may choose to bite an opposition player as if they were a Thrall lineman teammate. What happens if you take her on an undead team? Interesting one, that one. Anyway, dodge, jump up, movement 7. She's vampire, so potentially move strength 4. Star player vampire, gotta be strength 4. It's like an undead Carla. That could be good. I mean, price to go, maybe at 200 or something like that. That'd be really, really, really useful. Interesting one. But none of that matters compared to this boy. It's Count Luthor. So our final entrant into the Crypt of Fame today is a perennial favourite. Count Luthor von Dreckenborg, who earns his first new miniature in 20 years. The Count Luthor mini from back in the day was an absolute classic, and Count Luthor just is an absolute classic, and this is a fantastic model. The glasses, the soul patch, the swagger, everything about it is amazing. This is just awesome stuff. You've got everything I think you could want. That is just excellent detail. If you're listening to this and not checking it out, go and check out the image. This is probably one of my favorite star player models of recent times / maybe ever. This is just really beautifully done. Okay, cool. We've got him. That's wicked. So, a bona fide Blood Bowl superstar. The Count is so stupendous, he isn't even subject to bloodlust. That's massive. He used to be like 350 and he had all the stats. So, if that's still similar and he doesn't have bloodlust, that's absolutely epic. He's quick, he's strong, he's agile. Okay, so he's quick, movement 7, he's strong, strength 5, he's agile, edge 2+. That's what I'm picking up from that. And with block and sidestep, he's staying in the fray. That's just such an aggravating mixture of skills, block, step. And just for good measure, his special rule grants you an extra team reroll. So, Count Luthor von Dreckenborg's special play is star of the show. Once per game, when Count Luthor scores a touchdown, his controlling coach may gain 1 team reroll. If this reroll has not been used by the end of the next drive, it is lost. So, if he scores a touchdown, if you score a touchdown with Count Luthor, he just kind of gives you a reroll. I mean, I feel like we've seen something like that before, but I think it was if you cause as a casualty, you get a reroll, so a different star player, which I don't think we've really seen very much. But this, given that he's going to be a big lad and a big, famous, probably powerful lad, then that's actually you're going to see that happen. These 3 are all made of resin and will be available from Forge World very soon, alongside the rest of the Vampire team and their paraphernalia. We'll let you know about the release date as soon as we get it. So, oh my god, right, first of all, we got a big guy. So the rumours were dropped last year. In the long ago, when Amazons dropped, they said that vampires had been tested alongside them and they were going to get a big guy. There were mixed rumours. We heard from some places. In fact, there's comments in the videos were like, what they're getting is a vampire lord at strength 5. We had other rumours that was you're going to get a big beast boy, and it was a big beast boy. Now, the Vargeist is awesome. So we were clamoring for this when it came to what we kind of thought they'd do with the vampire roster. We were like, they need something spicy. And actually, after the preview last week, I was pretty content. I was like, right, they got a thrower, they got a runner, we know his movement 8, we've got 2 blitzers. Okay, that's interesting. That's enough. And with the news that Bloodlust was coming back, although we still don't know what Bloodlust is like, but for all intents and purposes, it sounds like it's going to be what it used to be before, but with a suffix on it. Prefix, suffix. Yeah, so with the Vargeist being Bloodlust 3+, I think it's safe to say that that's how it's going to operate. So you've got Bloodlust 2+ maybe for the standard vampires, or I don't know. It gives them a lot of play. So big guy and positionals. This makes vampires potentially one of the most interesting teams we've seen drop in Blood Bowl since Khorne landed, because vampires are just different than you will have ever played them in Blood Bowl 2020. Animal Savagery with 6 vanilla vampires, it breeds a certain style of play and it will reward you for being real good. Now, you've got a big guy. Do I take the big guy? Do I not take the big guy? You've got a thrower, a runner, a blitzer combo. You've got the thralls to manage, potentially 7 bloodlust pieces. I'm going to leave you 4 dudes to bite. I don't know what bloodlust is going to look like, so that could be messy. It could be game ending, and I kind of like that. The box having 14 players in it, 6 vampires and 8 thralls, that will give you the flexibility that you need potentially for that vampire team. Because in the olden times, you know, you could be like, well, I'll go 6 vampires and like no rerolls and it'll all be fine. Well, that was Animal Savagery, where the worst thing that happens is your vampire just stands there and does nothing. If it's old school Bloodlust style, where it causes a turnover and your vampire runs off into the distance, well, that's going to be absolutely massive if you don't have thralls. So this might be the first time we see a roster where there is a full whack of positionals and a big guy that you won't see all of them all of the time. I personally think we're going to see a thrower, maybe 2 throwers, depending on how. If throwers end up being average vampires, then potentially 2 average vampires. If the combat ones have got combat skills, that's going to be good. Runner, I just think you're going to see 4 vampires and a big guy at the most, which is really great because your box set gives you 6 vampires and 8 thralls. So you can bin off 2 of those vampires, still run the big guy, still have a big roster, still do vampire things with enough thralls to feed to people. So that is absolutely massive. Big guy with frenzy. Captain Funny Hat, who sounds like she's going to be the Carla von Kill of Transylvania, which is pretty fun. Yeah, Carla von Reese, I think is what we should call her from now on. And then this lad. Absolutely beautiful. Count Luther was very expensive in the olden times, so vampires, it's going to be fun. But dude, this gives us so much to play with. And we still don't know the full rules for them yet. So let me know in the comments if you're a fan of the big guy, if you're a fan of the star players. They don't normally drop it in one go like this, so I am led to believe, with the fact that they've dropped this out in one go, that we will see rules preview later this week, and then Sunday this will come up for pre-order. That's where my head is at, which is well annoying because the shed / studio is still just concrete blocks. So my guess then, if they're dropping this article so quickly, we will see, and it might just be that they want to get this out and they want to get the buzz for the World Cup, maybe for Blood Bowl, and that's why they're doing this. But if the pre-order preview goes on the 10th, we could have pre-order for the 16th, and it could drop for the 23rd. I'm playing Twilight Imperium all day on the 30th, so if they drop it 1 week later, I'm going to be very annoyed, because then I got a choice to make. It's going to be Twilight. It's going to be Twilight Imperium 4, isn't it? Anyway, right. Big vampire news. Answered a ton of questions, actually. I did it. Of our top 5 questions, what do we have? We had number 1, what does Bloodlust do? We don't really know, but we've got more of an idea now. Number 2 was star players or something. We've got Luther. We've got Carla von Fangs. And we've got Ivan. That's probably the 3 stars that we're going to get. Are we going to get a big guy? Yes. All right. So a couple of days in, and we got answers to most of our questions. Now it's just a case of how many vampires can you take? How much are they going to cost? What do they do? What does Bloodlust do? And when can we buy them? Anyway, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy biting. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to support the channel even further, please like and subscribe. It really does help us out. Or come join us on YouTube members or in Patreon, where you can get exclusive access to some content, some loot, early access to basically everything we do, as well as regular competitions. Or you can pick up some Bonehead Podcast loot either on our website at boneheadpodcast.com. We've got the Dungeon Bowl things, we've got tokens and stuff like that, or on our Spreadshirt site as well. Everything you do just helps us make more content and hopefully do it of better quality. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Happy blocking.